Welcome back, dear children. Last class we discussed about the spermatogenesis. It mainly consists of formation of spermatids and spermiogenesis. After this process, functional sperm is released from the seminiferous tubules. Today we are discussing about the oogenesis. Let us talk about oogenesis. It is the production of egg or ovum from the primary sex organs of female individual. This process includes following phases: multiplication phase, growth phase, and maturation phase. Multiplication phase start at fetal stage. About 2 million gamete mother cells or oogonia are formed within each ovary. No more oogonia are formed after birth. Oogonia is in diploid condition. Each of these cells carry 46 chromosomes. Suddenly, it enters into the growth phase. Oogonia divide by mitosis and enter into prophase 1 of the meiotic division and get temporarily arrested at the stage called primary oocyte. After birth, each primary oocyte gets surrounded by a layer of granulosa cells called primary follicles. Here you can see the development of primary follicles in the ovary. A large number of these follicles degenerate during the phase from birth to puberty. Therefore, at puberty, only 60,000 to 80,000 primary follicles are left in each ovary. Primary follicles get surrounded by more layers of granulosa cells and a new theca called secondary follicles. Secondary follicles transforms into tertiary follicles, which is characterized by a fluid-filled cavity called antrum. The primary oocyte within the tertiary follicle grows in size. At puberty, primary oocyte with the tertiary follicles enters into the maturation phase. Primary oocyte complete its first meiotic division to form a large haploid secondary oocyte and a tiny polar body. Polar body has no specific function. They will degenerate after some days. The tertiary follicles changes into the mature Graafian follicles. The secondary oocyte forms a new membrane called zona pellucida surrounding it. This Graafian follicle now ruptures to release the secondary oocyte from the ovary by a process called ovulation. The secondary oocyte is then transferred into the fallopian tube. Meiosis II is restarted only after the entry of sperm during fertilization. Here you can see the diagrammatic representation of oogenesis. Completion of meiosis II converts the secondary oocyte into fertilized ovum and a small second polar body. After ovulation, Graafian follicles
changed into corpus luteum. This is the structure of secondary oocyte with a zona pellucida layer. During ovulation, secondary oocyte with a zona pellucida layer comes out from the Graafian follicles along with the epithelial cells. These epithelial cells are radially arranged in the zona pellucida layer. Then it is called corona radiata. The membrane of the egg is called vitelline membrane. The nucleus of this secondary oocyte is called germinal vesicle. The germinal vesicle carries the nucleolus. It is called germinal spot. Its cytoplasm is called ooplasm. This secondary oocyte with zona pellucida layer enters into the fallopian tube. When it meets the sperm, it completes its meiosis too and form an egg and second polar body.
Today, we discussed about the oogenesis. It consists of three phases: multiplication phase, growth phase, and maturation phase. Multiplication phase starts at early embryonic period. It enters into the growth phase and maturation phase. At puberty, meiosis 1 completed. Then it enters into the second meiotic division when it comes in contact with the sperm. Finally, functional ovum and secondary oocyte is produced. Next week, we will discuss about the menstrual cycle.